it is a special time for you and your families. But this year has been a difficult one for many. Some of you will have struggled with managing household bills, having to spend less on heating your castles, or having to cut back on the number of servants you employ. Our own family has had to make sacrifices. We only had 8 months' holiday this year. Across this green land, banks have failed and jobs have been lost, though of course the important ones, such as waving at people with white gloves on, appearing in tabloid newspapers for no reason, and flying around the world endlessly in luxury jets, are thankfully secure. For without such essential jobs, Britain would surely suffer. But it's not all been hardship. The Olympics being hosted by Britain this year made me immensely proud. Wasn't it tremendous? Philip said China had really impressed him because apparently they used the same person for every event. If the Olympics taught me anything, it's that China may have a population of over 1 billion, but they do only have 2 hairstyles. Of course, parachuting into the Olympic Stadium for the opening ceremony with the dashing Bond was an outstanding memory. I am aware that critics have suggested it was a stunt double, but I can assure you it was genuine. I was not letting that damned Helen Mirren woman volunteer again and take the credit. This year I also celebrated the Diamond Jubilee as sovereign of this great country. The celebrations climaxed with over 1,000 boats sailing up the River Thames. Harry told me that's the most seamen for an 85-year-old grandmother since Wayne Rooney went for a massage. He keeps promising to explain that remark. This year, the Party in the Palace concert also happened. It was a little bit tedious, going on for hours. I popped out to watch for the second half. Lots of has-beens being dragged out of their retirement. And who was that lady with the hula hoops? Philip was fortunate enough to miss this due to his bladder infection. So many of you turned up to watch. At one point I thought Harry may have suggested a flash party on Facebook. Madness played at our house on the roof of Buckingham Palace. I would, however, like to remind my subjects that Britain is not a republic, it's my house. The recently announced news of my impending great-grandchild fills me with joy. I just hope Catherine does not choose to breastfeed in public. She does seem to attract unwarranted attention. You must be pleased to know that she has left hospital and is feeling much better, and says the royal baby is growing faster than the economy. I am hoping that they have a girl, if only for the embarrassment it'll cause the Church of England to have another female governor on the way. The family have had some wonderful visits across the Commonwealth this year, celebrating the Diamond Jubilee, although I think the less said about Harry's visit to Las Vegas, the better. So those are some of my 2012 memorable highlights. A few of my subjects have sent in some of their own. Fleur writes, my classic memory of 2012. Well, it has been a year of travels, adventures and changes. Shambhala Festival being a great high point. Trying to clamber on top of Kate in the human pyramid being well up there until we all toppled over. It's been a great year for knowing who my friends are. Thank you so much for fantastic support. For Grace, her highlight would have to be the birth of Lottie's puppies. She was so pleased to be there. Or maybe Shambhala. Cameron should look into taxing this Shambhala. It seems very popular. Martin writes, escorting the Queen to royal occasions can be a fussy affair. However, once in a while, the nerve-tingling, fear-evoking duties of a manly serf can be flipped to those of sheer joy when the elevated intellect of Her Majesty misses the point by a royal mile. I share with you the floral event that was the party for Hayley's birthday and the closing of Widcombe Social Club. Having covertly smuggled a cake into the building for Her Majesty's birthday and arranging a suitable break in the entertainment for the presentation, Her Majesty hears the announcement, "Martin, it's your time to shine, come up on stage," and forgetting the day's significance, she immediately jumps to the conclusion that a proposal of marriage is imminent. The chocolate birthday cake presented, relief from Hayley was evident. But hey, what happens when there's no cake? Nikki and Will, the genial host of today's party, write that they are very pleased to have become landed gentry and welcome you all today to celebrate with them. Their number one event has been the arrival of Ginger Lily. Every family should have at least one ginger. We do. Lily is already living up to the official definition of a tricket, which I am reliably informed is a rare breed of animal usually found dwelling on the Kennet and Avon Canal that has a large appetite and demonstrates boisterous behaviour. So Lily is possibly not a fox terrier but an actual tricket. With reference to the canal, they would also like to mention the 2 dead deer they found in the canal. Sadly, one of these was wrapped around the rudder of the Dog and Duck. And talking of death, Nikki is pleased to report that her recent accident resulted in her being alive, but 2 German cars being dead. They also write that Shambhala, again, was an epic time with funny memories of one time at band camp, rap songs about hats whilst wearing silver latex. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Trickett, the guerrilla engineer, also featured with his own little animated Willy in a TV series with Kevin MacLeod this year. It was a terrific success. I understand that Nikki did a good impersonation of myself whilst she featured in this programme. And I understand Nikki is still in the lead with her TV appearances compared to William Trickett, a little like myself and my husband. So, Beck reports that she's had a fairly reasonable year, but feels she has nothing earth-shattering to report, other than a couple of 30-year-old lovers, becoming a self-sufficient independent woman, a few holidays, an extremely funny Easter Sunday at hers with some lovely friends raiding her wardrobe, and possibly she's going to become a homeowner by the end of the year. So Billy and Andy have written in saying that they gate crashed a Turkish christening in the Portuguese mountain village of Silves. They write that they were already very drunk and returned to the strange old hotel that had seen better days in the 1950s. There was a party going on in one of the rooms, and the host came over and told us that they were very welcome to join in and gave them drinks. There was a Ray band playing, which is Arabic music and is very upbeat, very danceable and emotionally delivered by the singer. It's very good. The room was enormous, they had been feasting, and now there were whiskey bottles on each table being devoured by the men. There were loads of family there, and the host kept pulling Billy onto the dance floor. She was pretty worried about this as it looked disrespectful to his family. But they made friends with this guy with gold teeth and plucked eyebrows and a 90s fractal shirt. And after they'd got even more drunk and did competition dancing with the men, who incidentally only dance with each other and gyrate their hips back and forth at each other, it's kind of like who's got the biggest cock dance, although Jamaica didn't deign to involve itself on this and stayed proudly in the background. After all, if you've got it, why bother to pseudo-flaunt it, right? Anyway, eventually the host was really drunk and a bit over keen with Billy, and an argument broke out and all his brothers started to kick off with them, at which point they beat a hasty retreat. Thank goodness for that, because I really do not want to sanction any further armed conflicts with our world neighbours. Damien goes on to tell us about his memorable events of 2012, which include taking his daughter Ella on a dream holiday to Greece. Philip comes from Greece. watching an opera in the amphitheatre, showing her where democracy was founded, taking her on a serious shopping spree for clothes, and seeing Cirque du Soleil in the Olympic Stadium in Athens, and snorkelling on a beautiful remote Greek island. Philip comes from Greece. Another highlight has been converting his second chapel and having a new website. And other memories include fitting oak floors and kitchens at home and opening up fireplaces. My goodness, he's been busy. Walking with Kiriaki in the countryside and a weekend in Wales with his close mates. And becoming famous on TV with his superstar mate. Buying French sausages in the market and seeing his sister finally adopting a baby boy after 2.5 years. And Kiriaki finally, after much hard work, getting a great job in Bristol. He's also coming to terms with the fact that he can no longer see his feet when he stands up. And he's nearly got through the whole year without getting arrested. So, last but not least, he says that he's pleased to be seeing his friends doing well in business and being there with you all today celebrating life, although not with the dogs. And Kiriaki, his partner, writes that the event she needs to highlight is probably the most important to her. She says bystanders may find it ordinary or passé or dull and unexciting, but it stands out to her as it's restored her world of self-reliance and self-belief. She's found a job. Oh good, another taxpayer contributing to the civil list. And although it came with, and along with it came motivation, inspiration, enthusiasm, new acquaintances, new opportunities and prospects. Her little world is starting to expand and she's feeling like she's part of this land which she can now call home. Hayley writes, it all started in January with the unexpected phone call at breakfast that I was being made redundant. But after my initial shock, exciting plans were put in place. These have resulted in a year of leisurely breakfasts, pootling around in my little Figaro, fun-filled camping weekends in Henry the Horsebox, and some great holidays and road trips to Switzerland, Turkey and Egypt, and summer festival fun, which included a muddy sunrise but a sunny Shambhala, which has to be one of the best festies ever. And all of this with my favourite partner in crime, Martin. 2012 will also forever be remembered as the year she got her new shiny hip, and that 2013 will have a lot to live up to. Coming towards the end, bear with us, Erica has sent the following in. 2012 is a very special year for me and Gavin, as we celebrated our 5-year anniversary. I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have found my soulmate, the man I want to spend the rest of my life with. Our life is blissful harmony of love. I cherish every waking moment. Gavin, her partner, writes, I had a real wake-up call this year when I realised that Erica and I had been together for 5 long years. I don't know how this crept up on me really. She breezed into my house 4 years ago, and as the first girlfriend I have lived with for years, this was a big deal. Biggest mistake I ever made. I now have a pink hallway, butterflies everywhere, and every winter all I hear is bloody Strictly Come Dancing. So I am sure out there in your council houses across the land, you are all reflecting on your own years, and I hope they have been as good as mine. So, let's open the champagne, get the roast swan and taters on the table, and then I will be settling down in front of the Downton Abbey special with the gin. Hopefully I won't wake up with the Queen Mother of a hangover on Boxing Day. So my loyal subjects, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.